There is currently an AI TikTok page that is making a ridiculous amount of money doing it completely facelessly, and it's going completely under the radar, like nobody even notices it. Now, this is being done directly through TikTok's Creators program, which is like their monetization program, and all you need is your content to be over a minute long for it to actually be qualified. And right now, the Creators program is going insane. The main reason for this is because of the additional rewards, and a lot of people don't know about it. But I'm showing you results, and I will only show you results from right now that are currently happening right now. For example, literally in the last 10 days, this guy's made 1.6k on a brand new account. This guy, YB is better. He's done 2k in a week this month. Right now, people are making this money. This isn't old. This is genuine results from right now inside of my Discord. And the additional reward is essentially, as you can see for this guy, he made another 1k from the additional off of his standard. So it's something that TikTok have recently implemented and is basically making people so much more money. This isn't a one-off fluke either, by the way. There's so many people in my Discord doing this. For example, Vex, who's someone I one-to-one mentor inside of my inner circle. Last month, he made 4.5k off of 5 minutes of work daily with the niche he's doing. And as you can see, he had about 3 times more from his additional rewards than his standard. Just to give you an idea of how much you can be earning per like 1,000 views, 47,000 views right here. $65 for Redro. So he had over $1 per 1,000 views, which is kind of crazy. Now, the only slightly difficult part, well, I say difficult, it's not, is 10,000 followers. And people instantly think, oh, that's so hard to get to 10,000. Well, you're in my Discord, just as one example, there's so many people that have done this in even less time, got monetized into the Creators program in 10 days on a brand new account. Akre right here got 91,000 followers from one video alone. So getting monetized actually isn't that difficult as long as you're doing the right niche, which is why I'm going to show you this exact one that's working insanely right now, and you're trying to make your content better every single day. One thing I would like to show before we get into this exact page right here, as you can see by the username, is I am hosting a completely free Create Towards program or YouTube Shorts masterclass for faceless content on the 30th of November at 8 p.m. UK time or 3 p.m. Eastern time. And within this, I'm just going to be going through everything I know. So whether you're a brand new beginner or you're someone that's already making a bit of money, there is going to be value for you here to learn how to do faceless content to your best ability. On top of this full masterclass that's going to explain everything step by step, give you brand new niches, I'm also going to be giving away some subscriptions for some AI tools. We're going to be giving away 50 of those, and we're also going to be giving a cash prize giveaway for certain people so that they can reinvest into their faces pages, whether that's getting some new editing tools or whatever it is. We're also just going to add that in there for you guys. Now, there are going to be limited spots available because I can't teach so many people my blueprint. I do low-key have to gatekeep this to some degree, even though a couple hundred viewers are still going to get access to it. So if you do want to join, just apply or go through the invite link on the top link in the description. It's basically first come, first serve. It will take you a couple seconds to secure your spot, so I'd really recommend doing so. With that being said, let's actually get into the video. This is the page right here called Secret Zone TikTok. Now, if you want to know how I got to this number, I'm actually kind of lowballing it, but they've done 28 million views in the last 30 days. And if we just assume an average RPM of $1, now this is including your RPM and additional rewards, I like to preface. We're not saying that this page has an RPM of $1 because it probably doesn't, but with additional rewards added on top, they're definitely earning more than $1 per 1,000 views. And an example of that I showed right here is this guy with 47,000 views and $65. He's earning over $1 per 1,000 views on his page. Then this means that 50% of the views are going to be qualified. So out of the 28 million, we're just assuming that 14 million of them were actually qualified towards TikTok's Create Towards program. And we come out to about $14,000. So this is really lowballing things right here, just to make sure that we're not overestimating how much this page is making right now. And the amount of competition is literally non-existent. So this is a niche that you can get into right now. So pulling up this page right here, as you can see, some of the videos are going insanely viral. 3.5 million views and 5 million views right here. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is play back an example so we can get a good feel of what this content is like. But as you can see, the views on this page are ridiculous.
Something different could be running inside you. Some people are born with an animal instinct, and there are signs that prove it. 1. Do you promise to sleep early but stay awake all night, unable to calm your energy?
As you can tell off the bat, it's a very simple style of video. The editing is nothing crazy at all. There are a few animations in there, which is why some people haven't started this niche because they don't know how to do it, but I'm going to show you exactly how to do so step by step. But very simple kind of style of video. One thing that they do, and you'll notice as we keep watching this, is that they ask sort of rhetorical questions and they try to make it feel relatable. So they say, oh, do you promise yourself to go to sleep early? So many people do this, and therefore they're going to feel like, yeah, I do. They're going to keep watching the video, so on and so forth.
2. Do you pretend to understand things just to avoid feeling out of place? 3. Do you check your phone even while watching something else, like your mind never rests? 4. Do you get hungry at the strangest hours? Final test remains. Type the word forest here on TikTok. The first animal that appears That's who you really are. Don't forget, tell everyone how many times you said yes and what animal you found. Something different could be running inside.
So as you can see, that's the example of the video right here. And what I'm going to do now is just walk you through why this niche actually goes viral and break it down to you so that when you go on to make this yourself, you understand what you need to be doing. The first thing is the hook, right? The hook makes the viewer very curious and therefore actually keeps them on the video. So if you play this back,
Something different could be running inside you.
as soon as someone scrolls onto this video, they see something different could be running inside you. And that instantly makes them think, what are they talking about? Like it just hooks them in. It makes them curious to think, oh, is this happening to me right now? And that stops them from scrolling. The main thing you need to do on TikTok or any faceless content, YouTube Shorts, people are in that pattern of scrolling. They're just scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. You need to grab their attention. You even need to say something controversial like this to grab their attention, or you need to make something very visual happen on screen. Now, this isn't actually too visual, but actually the simplicity kind of hooks people in well because it just makes it have that sort of eerie feeling. If there was like a crazy animation going on screen as this was being said, it would kind of lose that like eerie kind of feel, and that's what the video needs to grab people's attention. So this does it really, really well right here. On top of that, the video is just again simple and fast paced with the visuals. So
Could be running in some people are born with
you see little animations on screen here,
instinct.
but they keep it simple to match that sort of eerie vibe and feel that the video needs.
And there are signs that prove it.
The auto captions on screen,
1.
just changing between the text, nothing too fast paced and crazy in terms of the visuals, but it is fast paced in the fact that it switches up. So for example, this screen is not going to be like this for too long.
Promise to sleep early but stay awake all night.
It's constantly changing. The screen never stays the same for a long period of time. If it does, that gives the viewer the opportunity to scroll because things aren't changing quick enough. They don't have the attention span to stay on the video.
3.
But here, things are constantly changing all the time, which is also what helps the watch time out. And the format as well. The fact it's in questions, right?
Check your phone.
Constantly asking questions. It's kind of like a challenge that people have to watch throughout. It's kind of like they're being quizzed and they need to answer the questions themselves in their head. And that keeps them on the video because they want to see, what do these questions mean? What does this come out to? What is the outcome? And that incentivizes them to watch all the way through to the end of the video. And the reason why these three factors are so important is because it really affects the watch time of your video. Now, what this means is your watch time is essentially the fact of how long or how much time people spend watching your video. And we want this to be as high as possible. Now, typically what I recommend is we're looking for about 25% and above on your videos to actually help it go viral. And this is the full watch video, so we need at least 25% of the video to be watched. Now, essentially why watch time matters so much is because TikTok want to incentivize people to stay on their platform. And therefore what they're going to do is push out the videos that have people watching the longest for. If they constantly push out videos that people only spend 1 to 2 seconds on, that means other people are going on other apps like YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels, and TikTok don't want that. So what they're going to do is they're going to push out the videos that people spend the longest amount of time on. And therefore, that's why you, as a creator, want to have the highest possible watch time on your videos. And the way that these factors do this is, for example, the curiosity hook. It stops someone from instantly scrolling off. So instead of your average watch time being 1 or 2 seconds, it's more like 30 seconds or 20 seconds because people are getting past the hook and they're watching a larger amount of the video. Alternatively, the simple sort of fast-paced visuals also helps contribute toward this because instead of like it being stuck on a boring screen for 5-10 seconds where people can just swipe off, it's constantly changing visually on the screen, so it's holding the retention of the viewer. And the format is the main thing, right? Because we're constantly asking questions, putting it into some form of challenge, it's keeping people on the video because they're answering the questions and waiting for what the answer of these questions actually means, so they stay until the end of the video. And these are key factors in terms of what is going to make this video and this page in general go viral. The final but massive contributor in terms of how this page is doing so well is CTAs. Now this basically means call to actions, and it's how people engage on your content. So if we have a look here, they do it right at the end. I'm going to play you this example.
First animal that appears here on TikTok.
So what they do is related to the video. So this is obviously talking about animals and like what animal sort of soul do you have inside of you or whatever it is, right? And they say type the word forest here on TikTok. So you can go on the video and you can type at the top forest, and then it's going to come up with an animal, and people are going to get their animal based on what TikTok's algorithm suggests to them. So let's say it's a gorilla, right? Then they say
the first animal that appears, that's who you really are.
That's who you really are.
Don't forget, tell everyone how many times you said yes.
Tell everyone how many times you said yes. And now this is where their call to action comes in place. They're calling the viewer to action, and this action is to comment. So now they're getting people to comment the answer. 80% of the time I'm saying this. I said yes to all. I'm a fox, that's my animal. I'm a lion, I got a fox. And
what animal you found.
What animal you found. So they're telling people to comment their outcome because everyone's outcome is going to be different. And that's what's encouraged. 21 1,000 comments on this video, which has really helped push this video out a lot.
Something
And also what they add is at the end right here,
times you said yes.
just a quick little save and share icon, just to make sure that people save this video for their future selves to kind of come back to what animal they are, because they think it's of value to them, and also share this video to a friend for them to test out what they got too. And these engagement factors are all key to how well the video gets pushed out. Looking right here, we have 57,000 saves, which is insane, and 12,000 extra shares as well, which means that this is really going to contribute to this video going even more viral, and that's how it's got 3.5 million views. Okay, so now that we understand how this niche goes viral, how do we actually make it? Now, in actual fact, this is one of the most simple niches to make. There's just a few very small things that are difficult, which is probably what's putting a lot of people off from starting it. But all we're going to need is we're going to need a voice generator of some form. So we have 11 Labs, which is what I personally recommend using, and then we need a video editor, CapCut, and you can access both of these for free. Now, what I'm going to be doing for this tutorial is directly copying the example. What I recommend doing is not copying these one-to-one. You want to create your own ideas, be creative with it. I'm just going to show you how you can create the overall concept. What we're firstly going to do in my case is we're going to copy the link of the video. We're going to go over to TalkScript right here. We're going to send this in. We're going to go ahead and copy this transcript. And then through this, I'm going to get the entire script of this video and then paste this into 11 Labs. Now, what I recommend you doing is now editing this, so changing it to whatever topic you want. So instead of saying something different could be running inside you, you want to change this to like something different could be controlling your brain, for example, and just change it up to be a unique video. That really is one of the key things that's going to make this content consistently go viral, is the topic and what you're talking about in the video. Don't directly just copy what someone else has done, unless it's a trend of some form and you can copy it quickly. If you copy it a week later, going to be too late. But if you can do it within the next 24 hours, then it's worthwhile doing it. How do I actually find this niche? I personally use this tool called Niche AI because I used it previously just scroll on my phone for ages and it would work. I would find niches, but it just takes so long. So instead, what I'm doing right now is I'm using a tool called Niche AI, which basically every single day updates with brand new faces content that's trending like crazy. It's only going to show you stuff from like the last week or so, so very recent stuff that's just going trending and blowing up right now that you can take inspiration from. It also breaks it down into like different sub niches. So if you only want to look at doing stories, right, you can come over to here and find content that is just taking off right now. This one 6 days ago, 1.7 million views. You're going to find a lot of content on here which is blowing up. So these are the best way to find the easiest way to find the best niches right now. I did actually manage to speak to the founder, so if you want to get a discount, you can just use code TARA at checkout and you're going to get 10% off forever. So I'd really recommend using this tool because I never really suggest using AI tools of any kind, but this one actually is saving me hours of work. Now what we need to do is find a voice for this. Now 11 Labs has a lot of free voices available, but we want to go for this kind of like eerie, scary voice. So what we're going to type in here is something like horror and just see if we can find any sort of voices that would be good for this style of niche. So for example, I found one right here from Cedric,
revealing a darkness that felt almost alive.
and he's just like talking in that sort of like not super loud, just in that right tone for this style of niche. So we're going to go ahead and use him here. And in order to use this voice, you just go over to the side here, click add to my voices, and then when you go to text to speech, you can start to use this voice yourself. So as I said, make sure you've edited the script for yourself, and then we can go ahead and select our voice right here. And if I now move this back over here, we can go ahead and generate the speech. Once we've got our voice sorted, we now need to get our images and our assets in. The first thing I'd recommend doing is searching for Stickman PNG, and we'll find images like this right here, which you can then go ahead and download. Here's another useful one, for example, if we want someone to be running. So just go ahead and download whatever images you need for your specific topic. If I'm having a look through this video, we can see there's like a DNA strand running in the background.
Some people are born with an instinct.
And then we have multiple ones, and we have like a green one here as well. Just look for what you need in your video. So here we have a stickman sitting in bed, so we're going to find for this as well. And as you can see, you can find the image like so, and we can download and save whatever we need here. Now, if any of your images are like this, whether you have the background on it, we need to remove that. So we're going to go to the site here, remove.bg, and you can just upload your image in here. And what it will do is it's going to remove all of the background for you. And you can now download this. The next thing we need to make sure we download is a VHS overlay, and you don't have to download a specific one, but as you can see, there's a load of these on YouTube right here, and just use whichever one you like the most, and that's what's going to create this sort of glitchy effect. And you can use multiple ones as well. You don't have to stick to one specifically in your video. So just download a couple of these. Shorts often have a lot of different options that you can use that you like. Also guys, if you go into my completely free Creator Rewards program course, which you can find inside my free Discord, which I will have linked in the description, just go to the CRP free course section here and you can access it right here. Then at the top of the niches section, so come here, go to the niches. I've added in the assets for this niche, so you can take the exact VHS effects, all the overlays. I've got loads just in a Google Drive, and I've also got loads of sound effects that you can use for this niche right here for completely free inside my free CRP course. Now that we're in CapCut with our audio and images generated inside, we're going to go ahead and firstly remove all the gaps in the audio. So the way we do this is you can see the waveform right here. Whenever there's a pause, so if we play this back,
Beside you. Some people are
if we kept that pause in there, it's going to make the video so slow paced and people are just going to click off. You want to make sure you're removing all of the gaps in the audio so that they're constantly speaking throughout the entire thing, and make sure that you remove every single last gap like so. So for the tutorial, I'm not going to sit here and create the entire 1 minute video because it's just a process of rinsing and repeating, but I'm going to show you the overall concept and how to start it, and then you just rinse and repeat that. One thing I would like to note is you don't necessarily need to make 1 minute videos as soon as you start. As you can see, these are all over 1 minute to make sure that they're monetizing. However, before you get to 10k followers, you can do 40-second videos. Don't do anything less than that though, because if you're posting 10 to 20-second videos, one, these videos aren't going to do well, because the whole reason this concept does well is because of that story and that watch time, and if your videos are only so short, they're not going to perform good. On top of that, once you get to 10k and you start posting 1 minute content, people aren't going to have the attention span to watch 1 minute videos if they're used to you posting 10 to 20-second ones. So just be careful of that. Now, there's certain assets you need. For example, the DNA strand that's at the start of this video right here. The way that we can do this is search on YouTube DNA overlay and just try and find something that looks pretty good, and we can just include this in our video somewhere. So for example, right here, as you can see, we found one on YouTube. This will do pretty good, and we can download this. Another way we could also do this is just generating it with AI, and I'm going to use VO3 to do so. Now, in order to use VO3, we need to go ahead and create a prompt inside of ChatGPT. We're going to keep it pretty simple because we're just going to use this as like some assets. I'm just going to say, write a text to video prompt for VO3.1 to create a strand of glowing DNA against a black background. Type that in there, get that to go ahead and generate our prompt, and then we just copy and paste this straight into VO3. Now for VO3, I would probably not recommend using the quality version, because if we use quality, as you can see, it takes 100 credits, but if we use fast, it's only 20. So I'd just recommend using fast. As you can see, our video is now generated with VO3, and we can go ahead and download this. So once you have all your assets into the video right here, we can drag and drop this on. As you can see, we have this here. One thing I'd recommend doing is removing the background. So we're going to go to remove BG right here, and we're going to go click auto removal. And that's just going to make sure that any sort of background, to be honest, there isn't much there anyway because it's black, but this will just make it blend into the video a little bit better like so. On top of all of this, I've added my VHS effect. Now, as you can see, we can't see anything right now. Make sure you click on the video, go onto basic, go to blend mode down here. Change this from default to screen, and as you can see, it's just going to add that nice little overlay now.
something different could be running inside.
A couple slight changes I've made is I've made everything a lot smaller, so this just looks better. It might look really small on the preview, which is what I thought too, but when we actually watch this in full size for TikTok, as you can see, it fits the frame nicely. And what I'm also going to go ahead and do right here is I'm going to go on this video, and I'm just going to reduce the opacity just to make it kind of chill there in the background. I'm also going to go to adjust, and I want this to kind of be like black and white. I don't really want the colors of blue and stuff. You could just ask ChatGPT to do this for you in your prompt for VO3, but you could also just reduce the saturation all the way down, and that's going to maintain the colors that we're looking for right here. So as you can see, we have our video. The next part we have here is saying some people are born with an animal instinct, and in the reference, what it does is it has loads of different like animations pop up. So I'm going to show you guys how to animate in CapCut. Okay, so the way that we're going to go ahead and animate this is we're going to reduce this down to a decent size so we can still move it. We're going to put it somewhere right, and then what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and keyframe the scale. So we're going to go to the start of the video. We're going to set the scale to about 2 right here. We're going to click the keyframe. We're going to go about 7 frames forward. Now, yes, there's going to be a 6-7 joke incoming. I can't help it because I'm counting. But the way you move your frames right is you press the arrows on your keyboard. So for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If you laughed at that, you're cooked. Anyways, we're going to move across, and we're going to put this up to about, we can do 7%, we could do 10%, whatever size you think looks good. I think around 12% is pretty solid for each individual character. And then what we're going to do is we're going to hold control, and we're going to select both of these keyframes, and we're going to click ease out. And as you can see now,
Some people
it's going to animate each character. Now, all we need to do to make this happen on a mass scale is we need to select it, we need to copy and paste on top of each other like so. And then we just move it to like wherever we want. So if we want that one there, we want that one there. As you can see now,
some people are
they just pop up from different places, and you can have as many of these guys in as you like and just put them wherever you want really. And then obviously in the video, some of them are green, some of them are white. So if you just want to mess around and change the color, we can go to adjust right here, and then we can go over and scroll down, and we can mess around with this so we can change the temperature. Yeah, they're basically all the skills that you need to make these videos. We then just want to go ahead and apply our VHS across like different areas. And again, like I say, you don't have to use the same one every time, right? You want to kind of make it a bit more unique. So we can just add our VHS of any kind on. Go ahead and cut this here. Go ahead and cut this here, delete that. make sure you go over to here and you go to blend on video, just to make sure it's screened over the top. And you do want to have some form of VHS. One really important thing is between the clips, you want to have some form of transition. You don't have to do this every clip, but sometimes I think it's really good to add. So what we're going to use is we're going to use this film burn transition, and we're going to find the point where the screen fills up with the white. We're going to go ahead and cut this down, and we're going to match this to the split in between the two clips. And we're going to drag this out. And you want to make sure on the blend mode that this is set to screen as well, so it's kind of overlaid over. Make sure we cut this, and when we play this back,
Some people are
as you can see, when we switch between the clips now, it has that sort of little effect and transition over the top. And you can increase this in size a bit if you want.
Some people are born.
It just adds that nice transition through the whole video. The other thing I'd recommend adding is some form of sound effect in, like a VHS or a hiss or a static kind of sound effect in the background. And again, you can download this video and add it in. And then you just want to add that sound effect into the background and make sure you crop it down to size because it's probably going to be like super long. So make sure it fits the size of your video. You play this back.
Something different could be running.
And it just adds that sort of eerie feel. Yeah, that right there is essentially how you edit the video. All you need to do now is just rinse and repeat this process. You can add your animations in, add your effects and add your VHS in, and just, you know, do this for however long your video is going to be on whatever topic you're doing it on. That is pretty much how you edit it. Guys, make sure to sign up for my completely free masterclass. It's going to be the top link in description. And this is going to be specifically for the Create Towards program or YouTube Shorts. So monetizing through faceless content. I'm going to be exposing the blueprint that I've been teaching all of my inner circle students who are making tens of thousands of dollars right here. So it's going to go through everything you'll ever need to know for this. It's going to help you whether you're a beginner, whether you're more experienced. And like I said, we're going to be doing a couple giveaways like I mentioned earlier in the video. So make sure you secure yourself a spot with the top link in description. It will take you a couple seconds. They are limited, as I can't give away this blueprint to literally thousands of people. So just make sure you secure yourself a spot as soon as possible. With that being said, if you would like to actually just fast track yourself and work with me one-to-one, you can go ahead and do so. We've got Velha right here, the $400 in literally 3 days. Burke and 5 million views on shorts. K.12K in a single month with YouTube. Rex breaking the view jail. So if you're someone new, getting your first viral video is so key. Ashton used to work at Tesco's. He's making 10K a month off TikTok now. Yunus 17 bought himself a 17 Pro brand new off of TikTok. Says a back-to-back 30K months. Vexo and Kvix both being from Poland, making so much money with the Create Towards program. $500 a day, 10K a month at 17. So you can do this from anywhere in the world. I'm the only person that will coach people from all over the world. And it works just as well with the methods I teach. So if you do want to work with me one-to-one, get access to all this stuff inside the inner circle. I'm also going to leave the application link for that in description too. That being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions about this or any future video ideas you want, leave them in the description, in the comments. And in the description, I have all of my social medias and my main channel, because this is my second channel, linked there as well. So feel free to check out any of that stuff as well if you'd like to. With that being said, guys, appreciate you all. Have a great rest of your day, and hopefully you learned something from this video. Peace.